Hi everybody, meteorologist Joe Cioffi. It's weather in 5 days in 5 minutes with a new week and some rather volatile changes here as we go up and down with the temperatures. And right now we're headed up, just looking at a cross section of temperatures this morning as of 9 a.m. It's already in the middle 50s across Long Island and through much of coastal New Jersey, while you start going inland north and northwest, and we're still struggling with temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s. And you head up north into the Hudson Valley, we still have a few pockets where temperatures are hovering close to the freezing mark. But east of the Hudson River, you're seeing that warm air flow going all the way up toward Albany, where it's up to 40 now. And needless to say, the snow cover, the deep snow cover that is in upstate New York and in parts of New England is going away. And in the meantime, of course, down further south, that is not any kind of an issue. But we do have snow in the forecast, which we're going to get to in just a second. First things first, though, it's a southwest flow, low pressure in Iowa, moving northeastward through the Great Lakes. And this is a very moist flow. There's also a little bit of a coastal frontal boundary that we had to deal with overnight and this morning. So that brought up some rain along the immediate coastal areas from Virginia on up into southern New England. And then we have the main area of moisture still to come to the west. You can see on the satellite loop the clouds that are right along the immediate coast, the bright white cloud cover there. And then you've got this long stretch of subtropical moisture coming out from the Pacific across the Gulf states and then heading up into the northeast. And of course, you also have that trough swinging down out of Canada that is going to make for some changes along about midweek. Radar is very busy, by the way. The rain that developed along the coast, you see that's moving out to the northeast. There's a slight gap, and then you have all this rain back through the Ohio Valley that has to work its way eastward. And that will definitely get in here during this afternoon and tonight. So between the two areas, we're talking about most places getting between an inch and an inch and a half of rain total. And I think for those areas in parts of upstate New York and into central New England, you combine that with snowmelt and there might be some localized flooding issues. I'm not seeing anything too terrible here, because everything does move along, and perhaps the heaviest rains stay more to the east and southeast of interior upstate New York rather than moving all the way up there. But some of that heavy rain does definitely get into New England. There's rain coming up now across Virginia, so that'll be into Maryland and south central Pennsylvania as we head into late morning, and then it'll continue into this afternoon and into this evening. So let's move, before we move ahead to the next thing, let me just play out what the NAM model is doing here. I think it's probably perfectly reasonable to use. The models are not that different over the next couple of days with how everything's going to play out. So with respect to the new NAM, which is starting to come out now, just to give it a little backup here. Actually, you know what? Let me see if we can just see how much of the new one we have. So that won't take us all the way through, but it'll take us through part of the way. So here's our rain for today. You see it's pretty widespread. This is what the NAM sees as the radar through the daytime and through the evening commute, which looks wet. You start to see the rains begin to move out during the late evening to early morning hours, and then that first wave is done. We're going to spend much of Tuesday not seeing very much as far as precip is concerned, but you start to see that next rain area push up to the northeast. So we do get into some showers Tuesday afternoon as the cold front goes by, and then it becomes a matter of waiting for the cold air to work in. This is at 10 p.m. Tuesday night. The front is already through. Temperatures will have started to fall at this point. And then as we move through the overnight hours and into Wednesday morning, we're going to get about a 6-hour stretch of snow. You see where the back edge is. It's fairly sharp. It doesn't go all that far west of I-81 in Pennsylvania, nor does it go all that far north of Route 84 across the Hudson Valley and in through Connecticut and southeastern New England. Then it's out to the east and done. And we wave goodbye to that, and in comes a cold high for Wednesday night. By Thursday morning, we're going to be down in the teens and low 20s everywhere. And that's going to be quite a shock after the 60s that we'll see for Tuesday, where many areas will be upper 50s and low 60s. So let me just take you through a few of the weather models. This is the European weather model from courtesy of Pivotal Weather at pivotalweather.com. These are free for open to everybody to go ahead and use and take a look at. Now, the European last night, which is a model that a lot of folks like to go to, generally giving about a 1 to 3 inch snowfall. And that's kind of where I am with all of this, on the order of about 1 to maybe 2 or 3 inches in some of the cold spots. You can see there's an unevenness in southeastern Pennsylvania and in parts of Maryland, but some places get, an inch to an inch and a half, some less. Now, here are the Weather Service snow forecast maps for various areas. South central Pennsylvania, Lancaster, York, 1 to 2, Gettysburg, 2 to 3, Chambersburg, 1 to 2, Harrisburg, 2 to 3, and you can lower those amounts to closer to the 1 inch, the lower end of that range, as you head down into central and western Maryland. In New Jersey, we're looking at 1 to 2 inches across much of the state. This is from the National Weather Service at Mount Holly. And we're looking at the Weather Service in New York is going a little more aggressive. I'm kind of leaning on the 1 to 2 with maybe some cold spots getting up to 3. They've got 2 to 3 in most places and a bit more to the north. I'm a little suspect as you go further north and west. And Albany on their forecast is actually going for some 4-inch plus numbers in northwestern Mass and further north. Some of this is from what's going on this morning. Because they do have a few of these counties under winter weather advisory. So this is not really a clean look at snowfall totals with regards to the Hudson Valley. And with respect to probability, I've pulled up, this is from the Weather Prediction Center. The blue is, the brightest blue there is at least a 60 to 70% chance of at least 2 inches. And you see from their view, most of it is to the north and west. I guess they're arguing that it will be colder there sooner, but that also extends down into parts of south central Pennsylvania and into the western part of Maryland and into West Virginia. So, it wouldn't take too much in terms of the arrival of cold air to bring that probability line a little bit closer to the coast. But I'm kind of settled with the idea of a 1 to 2 to maybe some pockets of 3-inch snowfalls out of this, and then it's all said and done. So we'll have latest updates, of course, later on today. You can get more weather information with my extensive winter weather coverage that I have on my weather platform on Patreon, which is patreon.com/meteorologist Joe Cioffi. And you can check the snow forecast maps up and down the eastern seaboard by downloading my free weather apps on Google Play or on the App Store. It's the Meteorologist Joe Cioffi weather app and Angry Ben's weather app, the Angry Weatherman. All right, folks, we'll see you later. Tonight's live stream, 7 o'clock Eastern Time on my YouTube channel, so do join in.